Hello and welcome to Your Broken Galaxy. I am Broken, and today I am doing the next fight in my Versus tournament, Nunb versus Mace Windu. Now, of course, this is viewable for my patrons on Patreon and my YouTube channel members on YouTube. If you guys want to vote on who wins these things, continue to check out my Patreon, which is where I've been posting them so far. But when the next round of voting comes up, I'm also going to put out a poll for YouTube subscribers. However, or not subscribers, YouTube channel members. However, I don't have any channel members yet, so maybe they won't get to vote after all. Let's go. So a young Celestin man is walking through the lower streets of Coruscant when suddenly he finds a man laying on the ground, having electrical scarring all over his body and missing his right hand. The Celestin boy uses all of his might to pick up the man and bring him back to health. The guy is in a coma, but after 3 months he wakes up and says, "Where's Palpatine?" And good old Nunb says, "Oh, and Mace looks at him and says, "You befuddled idiot. Tell me where Palpatine is." And Nien says, and Mace responds, "A collaborator, eh? I'll just have to end you myself." And Nien says, "Whoa! And Mace looks around the room, and he sees a broom and force pulls it to himself. Once it reaches his hand, he swung it at Nien's head, but Nien ducked. The Celestin says, before slapping Mace in the face. "I'm so weak," Mace said. "I feel like I haven't used any of my muscles in months. Thankfully, the Force is my ally." He extends his right arm to push the Celestin back, and Nien slams into the wall behind him. Mace takes a step forward and feels a tug on his arm. He looked down to see an IV sticking out. He said, "Oh, restoring me to health was a mistake." Nunb says, then rushes forward and grabs Mace by both arms. Mace tries to shrug him off, but he was just too weak. Nien pushes him backwards into the bed. "I've got to stop Palpatine. He's taking over the Republic," Mace tries to yell. Nien grabbed the broom out of Mace's hand, turns around and throws it out the open door of the room. As soon as he turns back, Mace hits him with a bedpan. Right in the face. Nien says. Mace tries to force push Nien again, but Nien wasn't having it. He could feel the force working against his body, but it wasn't strong enough. It wasn't as strong as before. He reached over to the bed next to Mace and grabbed a pillow, then started striking Mace with it in a desperate attempt to distract him from the attack. After a moment, Mace was completely engrossed in trying to block the blows of the pillow, and then he realized his head was lying back against a pillow of his own. He kicked out at the Celestin, causing him to move back, and quickly retrieved the pillow under his head and swung it full force into the Celestin's chest. The Celestin brought down his pillow with gentleness on top of Mace, and Mace, exhausted and suffering the effects of malnutrition and atrophies, did everything he could to hold on. He blocked the gentle, fluffy strikes of the Celestin for 2 minutes, but then he could block no more. His head fell back onto the bed beneath him. His hand released the grip of the pillow that fell beside him, and Nunb attached the IV back into his arm in the machine behind him. Mace slipped into sleep, defeated by the pillow-wielding freedom fighter. And the next day, Mace woke up and was greeted by someone that could actually speak Basic and told him that he had striven so hard to find the whereabouts of his enemy that he inspired the Celestin nurse to become a pilot and fight the forces of the Empire. And that now Mace was awake, he could begin his rehabilitation. So there you go, guys. This one turned into a pillow fight that Nunb won, beating out Mace Windu because, well, I think it was a tied vote. I can't actually remember when I wrote the script, but if it was tied, then I flipped the coin and that's who won. I think that's what happened. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.